radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio. For the masses. Yeah, man. Today's Thursday, August 11th, 2022 is Thursday. It's Fadernight. It's open lines all night long. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer, and UNX Networks. Race Hobbs. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? All right. Tonight is another Fader night with open lines all night long. Call in numbers 818-921-6929 or 323-275-9695 or what a day. What a day. I got a lot of breaking news. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Want to remind everybody what's going on next Tuesday night, 5 days from now. Tuesday night, August 16th, I will be at UPARS here in Los Angeles, in Studio City specifically. Seating is limited. I'm letting you know. Okay. I want you to visit uparsla.org. You can also go to their meetup link too as well. But the link for UPARS LA is below. And if you are in or around the Los Angeles area, all of you Fadernauts, come on out and hang out with me and Steve Murillo and the rest of the UPARS team. Wolf McCarran's going to be there. You want to hang out with Wolf McCarran, don't you? Wolf is going to be there. So 2 years off and UPARS is back. I am very excited about this. You know, I got an email from Murillo today. Man, I'm so excited, man. This is going to be great. Just like a little kid. I know, man, right? It's going to be awesome. So come and hang out with us at UPARS in Studio City, California. Seating is limited. Okay, it's only 200 seats. That's it. It's funny because you walk in, looks like a big room, right? There's a lot of, but it's only 200. And it just packs out. It packs out. So please get your RSVPs in. uparsla.org. And tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be at Vandenberg Air Force Base. That's right. They're letting the wolf into the henhouse. Yes, they are. I am going to Vandenberg Air Force Base tomorrow to watch the SpaceX launch in person. I'm going to see if I can live stream it. And so we're going to watch the launch and the landing tomorrow at Vandenberg. That is a bucket list. You know, I never saw Apollo. I never got to see the space shuttle. I've never, I've seen rocket launches from hundreds of miles away, but never right there. So that is going down tomorrow. Very excited about that. And so there you go. I've got a very, very insanely busy schedule for the rest of the year. And I need all of you to just bear with me. It's going to be a rough one all the way through to December. I've been talking to some different people out there that want to talk about this or that or what's going on. Can we do this? And I've started dropping my schedule on people. And, I don't reveal everything on this show. There's no reason to do that. But you go and you do that and you just sit back and you go, how is this going to happen? So there you go. But please come and hang out with us next Tuesday night. That's going to be amazing. Right there at UPARS in Los Angeles, California. I got notices today about the trip to Egypt, and very excited about that too as well. I can't believe it. It's coming up now. Now it's like, right, September's right around the corner, and that's it. Then it's Egypt. It's going to be a good time. I want you to get your free membership to the UNX Network at unxnetwork.com. And I know that we run the commercials for this with Race Hobbs, and you hear about UNX Network because that's our network, right? But it's just an amazing organization that Margie's got over there with Race and all of the other shows and the events that they are constantly doing and the special events and the special presentations. You just need to be a part of it. And it's easy to do. Get a free membership. Head over to the unxnetwork.com. Get signed up. You're going to get the monthly newsletter. You're going to get the notifications that I do about all of these cool things that are happening all the time. Margie is absolutely amazing. And her crew over there, they've got Lee Spiegel now, right? So think about that. He's handling the editing and the writing for the magazine. You just got to go and check it all out. Okay, it's very simple. unxnetwork.com. All right, and EdenPURE has extended until next week, so you've got the rest of the weekend to get in on this. But on Monday, it's going to be something else. So EdenPURE, the Thunderstorm, right now, the 3-pack special. You can get 3 and save $200 and get free shipping. And understand what I am trying to get you to you don't get it. It's amazing. It smells amazing. It's quiet. It's silent. It's USB. It plugs in the wall. Smells like a fresh thunderstorm. It's quiet. You don't even hear it. And you can plug it in the wall. I can't stress it enough. These are amazing. And you can get a 3-pack special. Put one in every stinky room that you have or your stinky car. Because I know, I told you 2 weeks ago, I know what you're doing, right? Pulling up to the drive-thru, McDonald's, Big Mac wrapper in the back seat. I know what you do, right? French fry back seat. I know what you do. And you don't think other people notice. They do. Get the EdenPURE, USB that thing in your car, get that flying, and then you can just Big Mac wrapper all day long, and nobody's going to know. You just got to clean out your car every 6 months or so. All right. The promo code is Fader3. Fader3. Save $200, get free shipping, get 3 thunderstorms. It's the only way to go. All right. Links for everything that I do are in the video description box below. It's all there. The movies, the TV, the appearances, our sponsors, all of that stuff is right below. Click, go visit, stay up to date. There you go. All right. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. And do follow me on Twitter. Follow me on at JChurchRadio, because I'm going to get to the breaking news, and I've got a very sad announcement today that I did today on Twitter, and that is Fadernight, OG Fadernight, JT Tucker from Indy has left this earth. Rest in peace, JT. He was a great guy, funny guy, best phone calls, and his sign off at the end, and he loved the Fadernauts and loved this show. And he even called into Coast to Coast. And with that horn. So, yeah. Yeah, he left this earth, and I will miss his calls. I'll miss his horn sign off. And this show tonight is certainly dedicated to JT. And I hope he's listening. His family reached out to me earlier today with a GoFundMe for funeral costs and cremation costs and stuff. And when I signed on and made my donation, it was a $2,000 GoFundMe. It seems like not enough money, but that's what it was. And his son had sent this to me. It was $45 at that time. And so I posted it out there, and we hit the $2,000 mark in just a few hours. So thank you, Fadernight. His family certainly appreciates it. I've got the links out there for GoFundMe. Hey, can you go above $2,000? Can you go above 2,000? I don't know. The links are there. And if you can, you Fadernauts out there, you understand what JT was all about. He had just retired, went to go work for the church, been trucking for 45 years, driving a truck, and just retired. And wow. We're going to miss you, JT. I hope you're listening right now. So the GoFundMe links are still up. But again, thank you. We hit that mark. We hit it really quick. And I want to thank all of you Fadernauts that made your donations. All right. Let's carry on with the breaking news. And, JT, tell you, man, show must go on, church. Don't be sad. Let's go. All right. So check this out. Tonight, in honor of JT, one of the must-see astronomy events of the summer will soon unfold in the heavens as part of an astronomical doubleheader. All of it going down tonight, right after the show. The Perseid meteor shower will peak tonight, Thursday, August 11th, into the early hours of Friday, August 12th. But it has been active for weeks, and I have seen some amazing action over the last couple of weeks. Sky watchers have spotted some action back in late July. I did. The opening nights of August, and the meteor activity will continue to increase leading up to everything this evening. Couple nights ago, I was out on the back patio and got out the night vision. And I'm by myself. I just fired them up, and I just look. When I fire them up, I go straight to 12 o'clock. Right, it's the first thing I do, and all the way across the sky, all the way from behind me to a giant, sparkling, flaming, whatever you want to call it. It's a shooting star. Man, that was something entering our atmosphere, but it was crazy, and it was immediate. That was it, by the way. I didn't see another one. Just that one instant. But tonight it's going to light up. I've been seeing them, every single night, and some of them ginormous. And also, they've been crisscrossing. You would think they come in at the same angle, but they don't. And it's not the same spot in the sky. Strange. All right. North Korea's leader fell ill with a high fever during the country's battle against COVID, his sister has revealed. In a speech, Kim Kinda Hot gave the first indication that her brother was personally affected by the coronavirus outbreak. The leader was, and she says, quote, severely ill from high fever, and he could not lie down even for a second while thinking only of the responsibility for the people. She told a cheering crowd in Pyongyang on Wednesday, all of this according to their official state media. Kim Kinda Hot blamed South Korea for spreading COVID into North Korea via, are you ready? Anti-Pyongyang leaflets. That's right. The leaflets were covered in COVID, according to her. The North has recorded nearly 4.8 million fever cases since the outbreak was first disclosed on May 12th, but had reported only 74 deaths as of the end of July. Kim Fatty Fat himself declared, and I quote, a shining victory, end quote, over the COVID outbreak. The Pentagon is speaking out against Russia's launch of a spy satellite believed to be shadowing one of its American counterparts closely in the same orbit. Now, check this out. The Russian satellite, known as Cosmos with a K, Cosmos 2558, launched on August 1st and appears to have been placed in nearly the same orbit as a classified American reconnaissance satellite that launched on February 2nd. According to the Netherlands-based satellite tracker Marco Langbroek, as of August 2nd, Cosmos 2558 is mirroring the American satellite's orbit with a difference of just 0.04 degrees and a separation of just 37 miles. Cosmos 2558, with a K, is an inspector satellite, which maneuvers close to other spacecraft. Other Russian satellites have been observed in the past displaying the same behaviors, and the mission and capabilities of the American satellite being stalked by Cosmos with a K 2558 are not known, but it is believed to be collecting imagery intelligence of Putin's super yachts that have bowling alleys. I just report the news. The Federal Communications Commission announced this week that Elon Musk's space venture won't receive almost $900 million in promised subsidies for its Starlink satellite internet business. The federal regulator, the FCC, was counting on SpaceX to get its high-speed internet service up and running across rural America. But the FCC said the company has failed to demonstrate that it could deliver on their promises. Elon was supposed to deliver service to at least 700,000 homes in rural America. It didn't pull it off. All right. Well, Amazon, man, it's always these corporations in the news. Who runs the world? Right? Is it corporations? It ain't us, right? It's not the president. It's corporations. Amazon announced yesterday that more than, okay, now this is what I want you to do. I need you to listen to every word. Do I have your attention? Okay. Are you focused? Focus. Right here. Right here. Are you focused? Amazon announced yesterday that more than 65 Whole Food markets across California will soon offer Amazon One, a palm recognition software service that allows customers to pay by hovering their palm over an Amazon One reader. As a public service announcement, I'm going to repeat this. Amazon announced yesterday that more than 65 Whole Food markets across California will soon offer Amazon One, a palm recognition service that allows customers to pay by hovering their palm over an Amazon One device at checkout. In the company's first broad rollout, which they're calling successful, those launches were in Seattle, we're in Austin, and certain stores in Los Angeles and New York. The service became available Tuesday of this week at 3 local Whole Foods locations, 1 in Malibu and 2 in Santa Monica. Amazon plans to expand the service in the coming weeks to 62 other Whole Foods markets in Los Angeles, in Orange County, San Francisco Bay, Sacramento, and Santa Cruz. Amazon One has also been integrated alongside the company's Just Walk Out technology at several Amazon Fresh grocery stores, including an Encino store right down the street that opened last month. Customers who use Just Walk Out, right? They enter the store by scanning the in-store QR code in their Amazon app or scan their palms. Once inside, anything they take off the shelf is automatically added to a virtual cart, and anything a customer puts back is taken out of that virtual cart. When they are finished shopping, they simply scan their palm and exit the store. The technology works with the help of, get this, hundreds of cameras in the store, weight gauges, and scanners that monitor what a customer removes from the shelves and puts into their carts. And this, my friends, I'm just going to leave right there. Let's get this show cracking. On this day in history, 1972, the last U.S. ground combat unit in South Vietnam, the 3rd Battalion, 21st Infantry, departs for the United States. The unit had been guarding the U.S. Air Base at Da Nang. Fader fact. All right. Here we go. Arnold Potter, 1804 to 1872, a schismatic Latter-day Saint leader, claimed the Spirit of Jesus Christ entered into his body and he became Potter Christ, Son of the living God. He died in an attempt to ascend into heaven by jumping off a cliff. His body was later retrieved and buried by his followers. They waited around for weeks, but there was no resurrection. And that is your Fader fact. It's vetted. Tonight is Fader night. It's open lines all night long. 818-921-6929, 323-275-9695. And this show is dedicated to JT Tucker out of Indianapolis. JT from Indy, Hong Kong. There you go. Man, I was bummed today. Just a bummer. I mean, I remember, I knew JT's phone number, right? And so I would see his calls come in. I would put him in the front of the line. Yes, I do that once in a while. I do. I generally just take the calls in because they're time stamped and I can see how long people are on hold. And that's the way that I do that. It's the right, prudent, fresh thing to do, right? But now with JT, man, I put JT to the front of the line. And so this was many years ago. And I'm at Coast. And at Coast, I have the callers. I have a list and names, and people are answering my phones for me and putting the names up. And I'm at Coast, going through the phone calls, I look and it says, JT from Indy. I was like, get out of here. How did he get through on Coast? And I just went straight to that phone call. And he signed off, honk, honk. Man, JT. Gonna miss you, man. Gonna miss you. All right. I talked about, River Moon Coffee. That's what I was going to mention. River Moon, rivermoonwellness.com. Fade to Black blend. I talked about my time capsule yesterday. The jewelry box. And, and some of the things that were in it. And so I didn't bring the whole jewelry box in. I don't have enough room to place a jewelry box in front of me, so couldn't do that. But I grabbed some items out of there. And, I just wanted to share them with you. Nothing crazy. But for me, I just thought, this is a time. This is a time capsule item, right? And so, I'm just going to do this before the break because I talked about these tie chains, and I haven't seen anybody wear a tie. This is the tie chain I was talking about. Remember, I said it was like a coat hanger, right? And you hang it on your button, and then you put I have two of these. There's a gold one and a silver one, and these came and went in and out of fashion in like 1992, 93. And I'm sure I've got pictures of me with this tie chain. But look at these. Now, here's the thing. You know, most of you have never seen these. And I get that. You have no clue what I'm holding up right here. But are these antiques now? If they're 30 years old, aren't these, these, I should be on the Antiques Roadshow on PBS. So what have you got for us today, Mr. Church? I've got these tie chains. They're 30 years old from Men's Warehouse. I got two of them, brand new condition. What do you think I can get for these? And that's crazy. And so in a time capsule, okay, so check this out. That's where my twisted brain goes. Time capsule, in the, a can, and you drop your stuff in it and you put it in the foundation of a building, and, 200 years from now, they open it up and they see, what society was like and what was going on 200 years before. What if they pulled these out, right? 200 years from now, who would know? Man, this was a technically advanced situation. These must be some type of biometric brain reading scanning devices. We have to figure out how these work. The molecular composition of the metals, it looks so advanced for its time. I'm just saying. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, it is Fadernight. It's open lines all night long. The numbers are 818-921-6929 or 323-275-9695. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'll be right back with your phone calls because it's Thursday and it's Fadernight. 818-921-6929 or 323-275-9695. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black Blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Hello, Fadernauts. Jimmy Church here. You've seen me with my Thunderstorm. Now you can purify the air in your home and get healthy, clean, fresh-smelling air and eliminate odors just like I do right here in the bunker. The EdenPURE Thunderstorm uses oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules into the air, which seek out odors and air pollutants in your home and destroys them. It's called a thunderstorm because it purifies the air just like after a thunderstorm. And right now, you can save $200 on an EdenPURE Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200. Seriously. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use Fader3. Shipping is free, and it's easy. Just scroll down. You'll see my name right there, Jimmy Church. Click on it and get your deal today. That's EdenPureDeals.com.
You have an interest in the paranormal? Then you'll love the unxnetwork.com. The X is your streaming audio and video for everything supernatural, strange, and mysterious, like UFOs, Bigfoot, ghosts, and so much more. From hosts like Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and Christina Gomez. Visit the unxnetwork.com show page for a complete list of all the paranormal programs you'll find on the X. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for updates at KUNXDB. Follow our Facebook group, UnX Network. Find the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and Apple Podcast. It's time.
It's new.
It's the X.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Manson. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight, open lines all night long. All right. You know the numbers, 818-921-6929 or 323-275-9695. It's your calls, your conversation, UFOs, time travel, conspiracy, the paranormal, the supernatural, lost history, food, guitars, music, movies, popular culture, whatever. It's your night. We're just going to hang out for the next 2.5 hours, right? And get all of this done. I love Thursday nights, man. They're absolutely wonderful. And once again, this show's dedicated to JT of Indy. And JT in Indy is... You call it, who is this? Oh, Jimmy, you know. No, I don't. Who? It's JT in Indy. Oh, hey. Loved it, man. God, I'm going to miss those calls. He was the best. He was the absolute bear. So what are you doing tonight? Delivering, what did he deliver? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm going to miss that guy. I'm going to miss JT. So anyway, I do want to thank everybody for their donations and everything else. And okay, now I've got something weird popping up here. This is strange looking. I've got a new text thing popping up here, and I don't know what it is. Okay, let's see here. Let's do this, and then let's do this. I'm gonna do this first up here. Okay, I think this is working correctly. All right. You see, I never know. I never know until things, start to flow correctly. I swear, man. It's like, do you see how that posted? Look, isn't that weird? This is strange looking. That is literally how my bottom window is down here. And I don't what the hey? I have no idea what that is. Okay. All right. You have to look in the chat to see what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go. Let's go to the open lines. Let's see. Am I even set up? Am I even ready to go? See, JT got me all turned around, man. I hope he's laughing right now. Let's see who's up first. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3, 2. You got to be ready to go, man. Okay. Let's see here. Can you hear me? All right. Something is weird here. Okay, that's got to be them. So let's go to the next caller. Let's see if it's the same drama. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Oh, that is muted. Oh, I got something muted here. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me go to reset. Okay. Boom. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Oh, you've got to be joking. That's weird. Okay. Let's try this one. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Okay. I'm not getting any signal coming in. That's weird. Calls are live, and I don't know why this is happening. Okay, hold on for a second. Let's see. This is correct. Yes, this is correct. Yes. Okay. There's no reason why you can't hear me. Can you hear me? I have no idea what is going on. I have no idea what is going on. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, that's, I don't know how many calls in a row. Audio settings, check. Okay, so I'm going out, but I don't have anybody coming in. Can you hear me? Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, can you hear me? Check, check. Check, can you hear me? Okay, hold on a minute here. Hold on a minute. Check, can you hear me? Check, check. Okay, this should be working. Can you hear me? I can hear you. This is, let's see. Check. This is crazy. I'm looking at it, and I can hear you breathing. Oh, you've got to be joking. You've got to be kidding me. All right. I'm going to go. See? There's audio.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay, this is weird. This is weird. Okay, I'm putting you on hold. Stay right there. All right, so there's one. Let's go to here. You're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Doug from Montana.
I don't know what was going on, Doug. Could you hear me?
I could not hear you at all.
Yeah, weird. And I just started clicking through. Okay. Hey, Doug, stay right there for a second. Can you stay right there for me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, stay right there. I'm going to put you on hold. Don't go anywhere. Okay. All right. And let me grab this call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? Oh. Okay. So now this is bizarro. Okay. Let's go back to just for grins. All right, Doug, are you there?
I'm here, Jimmy.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was weird. Everything is being put on hold correctly, and it's live radio, right? Okay. And it is just nuts to me to be like embarrassed. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you just fine, Jimmy.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay. And we can hear you. That's all that matters, Doug. That's all that matters, man. See, you know what this is? This is JT.
What is it, Jim?
This is JT from Indy.
Well, I wanted to send out my condolences to JT's family tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, his son, the way he reached out to me today, and first off, I didn't know, right? And I'm reading that, and to have his son say, you know, in a private message, I was like, oh man, you know, and so hopefully they're listening right now, and I hope that they are. But for them, or maybe they'll hear this show later. But for them to hear this from you and the rest of the Fadernauts that are going to be calling in tonight, it's going to mean the world to them. So.
My dad was a truck driver for over 50 years, so it touches close to home.
You know, truckers touch us all, don't they? They
absolutely.
Seriously, right? I'm drinking this River Moon coffee because of a trucker, right?
There you go.
That's the truth, man. That's the truth.
The nation can't move without them.
Nah, can't live, can't survive. That's it. That's right. That's it. The whole country runs on truckers for sure, but Los Angeles specifically, because of what we are, you know, in the middle of the desert, where there's no water here. There's nothing here. There's no reason LA should exist. You can't nothing, right? The only reason LA is here is truckers. That's it, man. Coming in on the 5 freeway and coming in on the 10 with all of the food and everything, that it's all because of truckers. And that's the only reason LA exists. And that's a fact.
Yeah. Many thanks to the men and women out there hauling freight.
Got that right. And they're listening to me right now, right? They're listening to you, and they're driving, and they're going, damn straight. Church speaking the truth. And it is the truth. And they're laughing right now because they know how right I am right now. So thank you for that, Doug. What's on your mind tonight, man?
Hey, Jimmy, I just wanted to make a quick call and thank you for the Bigfoot shows this week. Really enjoyed it.
So much fun. So much fun. And
right.
You listen to 3 nights of Bigfoot, and no matter how much coverage or what you do, you're just scratching the surface. Just there's
absolutely.
so much to cover. And have you seen, I'm going to pull this up real quick because I got the screener sent to me today, and it's right here. It's called, hold on for a second. I'm opening up my email one at a time like a doofus, and I think this is it. All right, here's this. Anyway, it's the it's a new Bigfoot documentary. And I'm going to get the makers of this on the show. And for some reason, I don't have it in front of me. Okay, it's the Wonder of Bigfoot. Is that what it's called?
Is that from the Wonderful World of Disney?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, they've done UFOs. Yeah. Why not Bigfoot? I don't see it here in front of me now. So I'll find it, everybody. I'm not going to search through my email. Yeah, there's a new Bigfoot documentary. And I was talking to Whitley Strieber tonight about 15 minutes before the show. And we started talking about Bigfoot, right? And he goes, have you seen this documentary? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I just got sent the screener. And he goes, it's wonderful. You need to check it out. I said, everybody's talking about this movie. And so right now, so Whitley is telling me to watch it. I get the screener sent to me today. And now I can't remember the name of it. The Glory of Bigfoot, the something. Somebody needs to.
Keep them coming, Jimmy. They're very enjoyable to listen to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's see. Bigfoot is popular. Okay. No, I need somebody to tell me what the name of that movie is. It's a brand new Bigfoot documentary, and it's the something of Bigfoot. It's something. Okay, I don't see it. I've got to go through my email. I get too much email. But for you, Doug, when we do these shows on Bigfoot, what is it that you think about first? Do you think about a sighting that you've had, or that you want to, or that you believe, or that you don't believe, or that you're I mean, what pops in your mind?
What pops in my head is when I'm out in the woods, we are not at the top of the food chain.
Far from it.
Yeah, and there's more to the story than what we know, and I think the government has a lot to do with it, and they're kind of unwilling to share what they know. But it's fascinating to listen to.
It is, and there's something to it. It is when the big reveal happens, right? Hold on for a second. Bill, you need to give me direct information. You can't just. How am I going to click on? Look, I'm going to show you. This is what Bill just sent me. Right? Are you looking at your screen? What am I supposed to do with that? I can't click on that. I can't do anything with that. Come on, Bill. Just give me the name. A Flash of Beauty. A Flash of Beauty. That's what it's called. Yes, that's it. A Flash of Beauty. Thank you, Stacy. Stacy brings it. A Flash of Beauty. So I'm going to check it out as soon as I can. I hear it's just absolutely amazing. I think it's amazing. But
that's an interesting title.
It is. But here's the thing. And I know this, I can feel this in my bones. When it happens, it's simply not going to be what we think. It's not. It's not. It's not going to be what we think.
You could be right.
No. Everybody's going to be wrong, in the words of Giorgio Tsoukalos. Right? It's not going to be what we think. It's not. And what if there is, now somebody brought this up this week, and it really got me thinking, with all of the stories of giants in America, giants in the Bible, skeletons being discovered, the Smithsonian dumping boats into dumping bones in the ocean. And I told everybody about that pamphlet that I saw when I was a kid in 4th grade in Chicago at the Field Museum, where they had this 10-foot skeleton on the cover of, this human skeleton. And I wanted to go see that. What if those are all Bigfoot bodies and skeletons, right? What if that's, all of these references in history, what if they're all, and like I said, it may not be what we think. What if the evidence has been in front of us the entire time and it's been taken from us?
Why?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why? I mean, what's the point in hiding our past? What's the point in that? What is it? Is it going to be something so extraordinary, Doug, that where like everybody just loses their minds? Not because they can't handle the truth, but because maybe they pretty pissed off. That what if
I think there's a lot of truth to what you're saying, Jimmy. A lot of truth.
What do you mean Atlantis is real, right? What do you mean? You've been telling us, that was fantasy stuff made up, that people were crazy. What do you mean? And I think that's what's going to happen. It's not that people are going to go and lose their minds and go crazy and insane and start walking into walls because they can't handle something like. No, I don't think it's going to be that. I think people are going to be pretty pissed off.
Jimmy, hop in your Jeep, come to Montana, and we'll look together.
Yeah, absolutely. Doug, behave and be well, and I'll see you in Montana, my man.
You're a rock star, Jim.
No, you are, and I thank you.
That fade to black.
Go back, Lee Tappy. Thank you, Doug. Doug from Montana. And, but yeah, right? What if it is just not what we would expect? I mean, what if it was the most mind-blowing thing ever in the history of everything? 200 million people lived in Antarctica. There's a city under the ice. I mean, what if they said something like that? It's 50 million years old, and the descendants are among us. I mean, people would lose. They would be so upset and so angry. And that's the thing. That's the thing. And I'm constantly talking about having to reprint history books. Having to reprint history books. What would happen if we had to reprint history books? Well, think about that. Right? Okay. All right. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, it's Jessica Rodriguez from Mass. Apparently my new cat name is J-Rod.
Oh, yeah, right on.
I'm so sorry about hearing about your friend JT, and my sincere condolences go out to his family.
Yeah, he was.
I know how it is to lose someone close.
Did you ever?
And I know how the family is.
Did you ever listen to any of his calls?
I don't know if I had benefit or not, but I've heard of him. Like, people talk about him, and the Hong Kong. I've heard those and that things, but I don't know if I've ever heard his calls. I'd have to go back and listen to him.
Yeah, he'd been an OG Fadernight for years and years, and he called in for a few years there because he drove a truck. So he listened to the show at night and call in, and he did it over on Coast to Coast too. But he called in pretty much every week, if he could. So yeah, the Fadernauts. Everybody knew and loved JT. Man, he had the best calls ever. And I'm gonna miss him. And I did a couple of months ago. He had called in when he got his new drum set. I remember that, and that wasn't that long ago. He retired, became a pastor at a church. He was looking forward, and all of this was just recent. I don't know. Certainly,
I listen to every Thursday night, and I probably have heard him call in. Was it JT from Indiana? You said
JT in Indy.
Indy. What would he usually talk about?
Oh, he
'Cause
talked.
I think I might have heard his shows.
He talked about whatever we were talking about that week on the show. So it didn't matter if it was Egypt or ghosts or UFOs or conspiracies, life after death. It didn't matter. Gobekli Tepe. He talked about all of those, just whatever we were discussing that week, and he'd bring up his points to it all. Funny guy too. Funny man. I just a tremendous heart.
I think I do remember one or two times that I did hear him call.
Yeah, he was great.
I do. Now that you say from Indy, JT from Indy, like that rang a bell, and then you started saying like he talked about the subject of what we were talking about.
Well, he always signed off with his truck horns. Honk honk.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing that one or two times. Yeah.
Okay, so what's on your mind tonight, Jessica? Man. What's going on?
I thought, what happened with Mysteries with Histories? I'm all confused. It says Thursday on her YouTube channel, and you guys switched it up on me on Wednesdays. I'm not getting the notifications until like half an hour before, and if I'm not looking at my phone, I don't see it. So I missed the live show yesterday, which I thought was going to be today, and I was like going to look for the show today, and I'm like, no, it was yesterday, and I almost cried.
Yeah.
I watched it again today, and I heard you talking about the Sandman, and you asked Christina if she's seen it, and she said no, and guess what? You got me. Oh my God. I'm almost done with the third episode.
Yep.
I actually believe there is so much truth to that show.
Oh, you
like
have.
How the
You
birds
have.
and stuff.
Oh, wait. You've just gotten started. Wait till
I know. But
you don't. Just chill out. Just enjoy this first 5.
It is an awesome show so far. I love shows like this. Thank you so much for. I love you, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I had it on my list of possibles. I was like, that looks like it might be a good show, but I'm just gonna put it on my list and put it on later,
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, I was like, I started watching it and I was like, oh no, oh yes, this is exactly the kind of. Oh God, I'm like, I'm gonna be waiting for the next season or whenever they put the next episodes out.
Yeah. Did you see the baby dragon yet? The gargoyle?
I saw the baby gargoyle.
Yeah, pretty
cool. They had to fight over. Is it Abel and Cain? Because one of them's name is Cain.
Yeah, it's
and
Cain and Abel.
Brothers, and they killed each other.
Cain and
that's
Abel.
what I thought. I didn't hear them say Abel yet, but I heard Cain, and then he started telling a story about him and his brother and how they killed. One killed each other. And I was like,
Jessica,
Cain and Abel.
Jessica, you're giving away the show. Shh.
Okay.
People are listening.
Oh, all right.
You can't do that live on the
air. You gave away the baby dragon.
That's all I did. Was the baby dragon. And that's all I said. I didn't bring. Okay.
Or no, baby gargoyle.
Okay, that's it. Shh.
Okay. We're not going to say nothing else. But it's a good show.
Yeah,
anybody
great.
that has it on their list on Netflix, go watch it after the show. I'm going to binge it tonight, and I'm not going to go to sleep tonight until I finish watching it.
It's totally worth it. Totally worth it. Jessica.
I won't be able to sleep.
Enjoy your weekend. I'm 2 minutes past the commercial. So enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much. Behave and be well. I'm
going to enjoy my night watching the Sandman.
It's awesome. I'll talk to you, Jessica. Thank you so much. Gobekli Tepe. And that is Jessica Rodriguez. I got to get to a commercial. See, man, I just love talking to Jessica. She's great. And I lost track of time. The Sandman. Go and watch it. It's on Netflix. All right? The first episode just sets up the dream thing. And then after that, man, this thing just breaks loose. It's fantastic. This is Fade to Black. I'm your Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with me.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB EX.
Oh, Fadernauts, Jimmy Church here. You've seen me with my Thunderstorm. Now you can purify the air in your home and get healthy, clean, fresh smelling air and eliminate odors just like I do right here in the bunker. The EdenPURE Thunderstorm uses oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules into the air, which seek out odors and air pollutants in your home and destroys them. It's called a thunderstorm because it purifies the air just like after a thunderstorm. And right now, you can save $200 on an EdenPURE Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200. Seriously. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use Fader3. Shipping is free and it's easy. Just scroll down. You'll see my name right there, Jimmy Church. Click on it and get your deal today. That's EdenPureDeals.com.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can right now get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer, Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We are also Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier, and I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers, and you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. It is open lines all night long. I'm putting you on hold. Stay right there. Putting you on hold, stay right there. Putting you on hold, stay right there. Putting you on hold, stay right there. Putting you on hold. Time capsule. So the jewelry. So there were two things. Well, there was a lot of things, but that I was like, what is this? And I hadn't seen, none of us have. Now, this is a time capsule moment. I don't know why I saved it. I have no idea. But here is a credit card receipt from Texaco from 1990. When was the last time you saw that? What the heck? This is 32 years old. There's my signature right here. Remember when he used to do that? Look at that thing, man. It's all folded up. From Texaco. I don't even know if Texacos are still around. But a signed ancient credit card receipt. You know, the copy. That's crazy. That's time capsule stuff. I found this. I have no idea. Just some random gold chain. It's nice too. And it's got it's I have to untangle it. I have no idea. I should give that to Lisa Reed. Lisa, this is yours. But it's just in there. I have no idea. Here is the crystal tooth. I called it the Fang. I bought this at the Psychic Eye in 1990. Check that out. It's a Fang thing. And it's got this really cool bead work on it. I don't know if you could see it. But, and I wore this for a couple of years, got a nice loop on it. But again, that's old. And it was just sitting in, and I was like, wow, I remember that now. I haven't worn that since I was 28, 27. But there it is. And I saw this in the display case at the Psychic Eye, and I just had to have it. I don't know the significance of it. I don't know where it was made. I don't know what type of crystal this it looks like a Fang, but which is down here on the bottom. But I had to have it. It was just like me. And I wore this thing forever, man. And there it is in this jewelry box, just sitting in there. But it's 32 years old. So, you got to picture it like this. It's 1972. You're 10 years old. You're with your parents. And your mom says, yeah, and you're going through her jewelry box and you pull something like this out. And she goes, yeah, I've had that since 1940, since before World War II. You'd be like, man, this is ancient. That's an antique. Well, that's what this is, right? That's 32 years old, man. And pull that out of the jewelry box. So there you go. All right, let's go back to the phone calls. But I've got some more stuff here, too, as well. It's all pretty interesting. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Is that me?
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Jimmy.
Man, you got to be ready. Who is this?
Jimmy.
Yes.
Are you there?
No.
We're entangled.
Okay. All right. You got to be ready. You got to be ready. You got to be ready on the phone calls. You got to be ready. You cannot not be ready. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Paul from Sunny Grants Pass.
Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. I came up with bumper music for your next Bigfoot-a-thon. Your Feet's Too Big by Fats Waller.
I think I might even know that song, actually. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was a great week on the show. It's a great week on the show.
Yeah, it really was.
I'm kind of jealous about guys like Duke who are able to do shows about nothing but Bigfoot, because there's just so much to talk about and always new information. You're going out on expeditions and you're discovering things and taking pictures and making videos and coming back and hanging out with your friends and doing these shows. That because I could do Bigfoot for months at a time, every single night. It was a lot of fun this week. And I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot.
So did I. I thought it was just absolutely fascinating.
What about just like the question that I had for Doug? When you go through shows like this, what are you thinking about? Right? What enters your mind?
Well, the possibility that there is a great ape out there that's very, very intelligent. That's what goes through my mind. We've got hundreds of thousands of acres of wilderness out here, forest, that a creature could live in and not be detected. Let alone some of the other things. The thing I picked up on was the running on logs. I used to do that on Harris Beach over at the coast. I'd run up and down the beach on the logs on the driftwood to work on my balance coordination. Mm-hmm. And there's no way they're going to leave tracks if they're on deadfall. That's just not going to happen. That rang true. The idea of them being interdimensional, maybe not. That one's up there with all of the religious stuff and all of that. I don't have a way to measure it, so I can't say, but it's certainly a possibility. But yes, running on logs was a big one for me.
That was it's too obvious, right? What I mean is, it's too. I think that all animals would do that, right? They're tracking each other. Right? Animals are tracking each other, man. I mean, no matter who you are in the woods, there's somebody out there that wants to eat you, right? Think about that. Every animal, right? Yeah. That's the way nature works, right? So what are you going to do? Your DNA is going to be modified generation after generation after generation so you can avoid being eaten. Right? It's that fundamental. It's that obvious. So what are you going to do? Hey, I'm going to walk on this log, right? I'm going to walk on this log. I'm going to walk through this creek. I'm going to jump around on rocks. I'm not going to leave footprints and my scent behind so somebody can follow me and then bite my butt from behind. Right? No.
Absolutely.
It's too obvious. So why wouldn't Bigfoot? Okay, and here's the other thing. Trees are an escape, right? What do animals do when they're running? They run up a tree, right?
You bet.
They sleep in trees. Right?
You bet.
Birds
don't. You'd be amazed how many during forest fires. You'd be amazed how many big cats are found cooked up in the trees.
No, everybody, including my cooked butt, because that's what I would do. Right? So trees are there as an escape mechanism, and to develop over millions of years different ways to get around the woods and hide what you're doing. I would think a fallen log or a series of fallen logs, right? What if you are next to a creek or river that has, a log jam, trees that are, you know what I mean, that are coming down? You're not going to walk in the mud. You're going to walk on the fallen trees for as far as you can. Makes sense.
And there's almost always some deadfall out there. Almost always. So, yeah, that was a piece that I didn't have before, and I really thought that was very interesting. Running around with a gun to go out and shoot a big ape, I'm not so keen on that. But then I forswore violence when I left the military.
Really,
absolutely nonviolent. My weapon of choice was a 105.
A howitzer?
No, main gun on a tank. I was a tanker and a reconnaissance specialist.
That's what I said, a 105, a howitzer.
Yeah, main gun on a tank. Yeah. So there's that. Two other things. One, have a ton of fun watching that launch. That's going to be great fun. And the retrieval. That's the real miracle in my mind.
Yeah.
That they can land the units again. I've watched it on YouTube, and it's fascinating. So that's one thing. The other thing, Paul, P-O-L-L. The reason that's there is I used to be a wheel in a game called Eve, and the people that I worked with were Europeans, Eastern Europeans, and people further east, and they had a hard time pronouncing my name when it was P-A-U-L. But when I changed it to P-O-L-L, they could pronounce it with no problem. So that's the mystery of that.
I can sleep tonight. That's very important.
So good.
Okay, now I'm going to make you laugh. You go back to the old 1950s science fiction movies, Rocket X1 to the moon, all those movies, right? And they would show the rockets landing backwards with the sparklers coming out of the bottom, right? And land. And we all laughed about it. That's so funny, man. It's just so TV. And look where we are today. That's exactly what we're doing. And we are so amazed. Look at that. The technology, Elon, is amazing. It's landing backward. And we're so impressed with it. Well, they were doing that in 1952. There you go.
On TV.
On TV.
In the movie.
Buck Rogers and all of that, where, landing on Mars backwards. And we just thought it was so goofy. And now here we are. Here we are. We're so impressed with it. And I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait. I wanted to ask you this. Okay. I've got a decision to make tonight. Resident Alien. The new season is out. That's number one, and that's on my watch list. And I've got a couple of other things that I'm watching too. Or do I watch Elvis? I'm just saying, do I watch Elvis?
I gotta tell you, go for Resident Alien.
Oh, man. I thought you were going to try to talk me out of that. I thought for sure you were going to go with Resident Alien.
Elvis did himself into the ground, and the people who've done this movie, they're great actors, great writers, and all of that. But the bottom line is, it's all been done.
Heresy. Burn him at the stake.
Yeah.
Burn him at the stake.
Me.
That's you, man. That's you. Strap you down. Little
give
Carol.
me a steak to eat while we're doing it, so I can get it.
Right. A little kerosene. Yeah. So you're gonna fire up a s'more as you roast up, and you're gonna go.
That's it.
You're gonna go out like that. The other night, it was I think it was 3 nights ago, August 8th. when it released, right? So it was after the show, and I'm in bed, got my bowl of Captain Crunch, and it's on, and I turn on Amazon. There it is, Elvis. I was like, oh, and I did everything that I could. The willpower. I couldn't believe I did it, and I didn't watch it. And the reason why I didn't is because I didn't want to stay up till 2 a.m. That's why I didn't watch it. And but tonight's my Friday. Also, I've got this Vandenberg thing in the morning, and maybe I don't do Elvis tonight. But the point is, I've held off now. Today is the 11th. I've held off for 2.5 nights. And I just don't know if I have the willpower. It's going to be streaming for free on HBO Max in a couple of weeks. Right? Do I hold out for that? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think the king would want it that way.
Well, yeah, but again, it's all been done. When they do a docudrama on Jimmy Church, I'll stay up late and watch that.
Would the secrets be revealed, though? Would the secrets be revealed?
Absolutely.
The real stuff.
Otherwise,
man, that just sounds boring to me. But maybe, I don't know. It depends on how I go out, right? If I go out like Thelma and Louise, it could be a good docudrama. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, so. Because of Vandenberg tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, see, now that would be a good docudrama. That'd be pretty good.
There you.
All right, Paul.
There you go. One last thing on Bigfoot. We've had something come up and down my little valley here. I'm about 8 miles outside of Grants Pass, which is a fairly small town. But I think the further out you go, the more likely you are to encounter stuff like that. I used to spend a lot of time in the woods and never really felt like I was being watched or anything. But here we'll occasionally get odd whistles. The neighbor has a metal corral, and occasionally at night somebody or something will go up and beat on those and try and make music on them. Now, is it some hoser who's high on meth? I don't know. But that does happen from time to time here. So,
a hoser high on meth. Isn't a okay, all right. Isn't a hoser? Wasn't that Canada? You hoser.
Yeah. We're close.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, you guys are actually pretty close. Well, Grants Pass. Now I know you call it a small town. I guess it's town status. Grants Pass is tiny, man. I mean, you just blow right past it. But everything there, everything in Oregon besides Portland is just really tiny. Where's Oregon, the university? That's in
Eugene.
That's in Eugene. And so Eugene, I think I've been there a few times. I think Eugene qualifies as a big town. Is it a city?
Yep.
Man,
well, we think of it.
I mean, Portland's a city. Portland's a city.
Yeah.
But even Eugene, you're starting to get out into the sticks, and then after Eugene, that's it, right? And so,
absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. Until you get to Medford. Medford's kind of.
I forgot about Medford. Yeah, Medford is decent sized. Yeah, decent.
Yeah.
That's a town. Medford's a town.
Yep.
Not quite a city.
Yep.
It's in between.
Yep.
You do have Musician's Friend. That's located in Medford. Did you know that?
Yes. I was born and raised in Medford. So, yeah. Medford had a lot of dirt roads when I grew up. So that tells you how long ago it was. But Medford, Ashland, the community over in Ashland is a great community. The really neat people who work in Ashland mostly now live in Talent because nobody can afford to live in Carmel by the creek there.
Yeah, Carmel by the creek. Ashland's pretty nice. My dad lived there for a number of years, and I used to go up there and visit. And I was very impressed with the town, and they are definitely cultured. They probably drink their tea with their pinky out, kind of thing. Carmel by the sea, or by the, what'd you call it? Carmel by the creek?
Carmel by the creek.
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah. It's just too.
Well, come up sometime, and I'll show you the area.
Just visiting is fine with me. It's too small to live. I like action, right? And so here in Palmdale, I've got all the things that the big city has, but I've got LA and Hollywood, and the mucky muck is just 45 minutes away. And I need that. I need to have. I can't live in a small town. I can't drive 4 hours to an airport, or you know what I mean. I can't. I need stuff around me, and that's why. Palmdale for me is really cool because I got all the small town vibe, but I can relax knowing that the insanity is right over the hill, right? It's just a drive away. If I need to go and visit the police helicopters and see gang activity, I just got to go, it's right there. And I can go visit. Yeah. And hear the sirens. So, hey, Paul, behave and be well. Thank you so much. You're amazing. And have a great weekend.
You too. Excitement here is a bear in the yard.
or pot season.
Or pot season.
I'll talk to you.
I've got growers all around me now.
That's what I'm talking about, Paul. I know that area. Have a great weekend, Paul.
Take care.
Go Beckley Tepe. That's a great phone call. Paul in Grants Pass. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's open lines all night long. I'm just hanging out with all of you. That's right. 818-921-6929 or 323-275-9695. I'll be right back with more of your calls right after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
The Believer is the chilling true story of Dr. John Mack, a renowned Harvard psychiatrist and Pulitzer Prize winner.
This is an outreach program from the cosmos to the consciously impaired.
He risked it all to investigate human encounters with aliens. The Believer, Alien Encounters, Hard Science, and the Passion of John Mack. Written by award-winning former New York Times journalist and author Ralph Blumenthal. Now available in paperback from High Road Books.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts, when you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA.
Hi, I'm Ray Sobbs, and I'm here to tell you about something I really think you're going to like. The UnX Network is a part of a larger group called UnX Media, and one of the things we offer is the quarterly UnX magazine, which is available both in print and digital formats. This amazing magazine covers all aspects of the unexplained and makes for a great coffee table periodical that is certain to spark enlightening conversations in your living rooms. We invite you to check out the latest digital issue for free. Just go to unxnetwork.com/membership and fill out your free membership with your name and email and become a new free member. The new summer issue is now available, and the theme is Time Anomalies, which includes a feature article written by our managing editor, Lee Spiegel. Just go to unxnetwork.com/memberships. That's unxnetwork.com/memberships and get your free e-copy of the UnX magazine today.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight's Thursday. It's Fadernight. It's open lines all night long. 818-921-6929 or 323-275-9695. Your calls, your conversation. We're just hanging out, and whatever you want to talk about, that's what we do on Thursday nights. And UFOs, time travel, Bigfoot. Squatch Week here on Fade to Black. I learned so much this week. It just, I keep saying this over and over again, but it needs to be repeated. The Bigfoot community is huge. It's huge. It's huge. And I think that it's bigger than the UFO community and everything else combined. I really do. The Bigfoot community is huge. And I could do months of Bigfoot shows and not repeat. It's just, there's so much information and things to talk about out there. This week was great for me, and I hope that all of you enjoyed it too as well. So now with that, hey Jimmy, what's your meeting with Stephen Hawking story? Oh, that's right. Is that an RG 565 behind you? How does it compare to the RG 550? Okay. Please bring back hats and shirts. Yes, that is, he's talking about this guitar right here. That is an RG 565. That's a good eye, my man. That's a good eye. That's a rare guitar. Hard to find. They made a version of that many, many years ago. They reintroduced it last year, and then they stopped. So it was only out for about 6 months, and trying to find one is nearly impossible. You really have to search. So yes, but that is an RG 565. The cool thing about here, since he's makes no sense to just point at it and not show it to everybody. This is an RG 565. But what's cool about it, okay, so it's this turquoise green metallic blue color. And let me see if I can light it up for you guys. But what's cool about it is the fret markers, as you can see, the strap is pressing buttons here. The position markers are blue. They're the same color as the body. And I really dig that. But then it's also got a lefty headstock. And this one's perfect. It's got the new Wizard neck with the graphite and stuff in it. But this is a sweet guitar. Now, I'll tell you something weird about this. And it's different than the RG 550s, which there's one right there on the wall. Right there, you can see the bottom part. It's the red one. That's a 550. But this is what's unique about this guitar, HH. I want you to take note and listen to what I am about to show you here. Okay? Now just check this out. HH, listen to me. And the rest of you. This is deep. So look at the neck and see the neck pocket that is cut. On a normal, on an RG 550, on a Vi Gem or other guitars, the cut is here. This one extends all the way up, and it's really, really, really deep. And you can see there's a 12th fret marker, right? So 15. This joins at the 17th fret. Right here. It's a very, very deep cut. It's strange. And so I was looking on the wall and looking at the other Ibanez's that I have, and I saw that the cut was different. I was like, wow, that's weird. The neck. So that neck, you couldn't take that off and put it on another Ibanez. It's a totally different cut. And if you look at this 550, this down. This is a 550. Now look, see the cut? This comes in at the 19th fret. What I just showed you was the 17th fret. It's totally bizarre. You see how shallow this is? It's only like an inch. What I just showed you, it comes in all the way up here. It's weird. So this is a 550. I love it. Again, it's got the red markers. Great guitar. It's Ibanez's best guitar. But that 565 is sweet. But it's got that weird cut. It's like that's funky. So anyway, all right. I don't even know why. Thank you, HH, for that, for everybody getting a boring 5 minutes on the show. But it's little things like that when you have this many guitars and they're all built the same, and there's consistent things that companies have done for years. There's a basic design with the Strat, there's a basic design with the Les Paul, and everything just kind of blends off of that. You can interchange parts. You can do all of that. Not with that 565 and that 550 and all the other gems and stuff that I have in here by Ibanez. You can't interchange those parts. Not on this guitar. Totally different. But I love it. The 565 is absolutely incredible. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello?
Yeah.
Jimmy?
Yes, you're live.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, my name is Kelly Robinson, and I'm from North Carolina, and I live in what's called Burt County. And so this is in the western part of North Carolina, kind of in right as the Piedmont starts to get into your mountainous area.
Uh-huh.
And so my father, he's a retired wildlife officer for the state of North Carolina. He's put in like 30 and a half years. And so I'm fixing to turn 33 August 20th. And so I'm sure you remember years ago, this was like in the 90s, I was 9 years old. And you remember the mag lights? They're like a foot long, and they had the C and D cell batteries, very large ones.
I've got, you want me to show you a mag light? You know, I'm a flashlight guy, right?
Okay, connoisseur.
I love my flashlights, and I have a vintage. Oh man, right here. Check this out. Are you looking at me on the screen?
Yeah, man, I can see you.
Okay, look at that baby. That's a baby.
Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah, it's a baby mag light with the. There you go, man. You can't.
Sweet.
Yeah. Right. These. You know what I mean? And you always
very nostalgic, yeah.
Little baby. Yeah. And you always know somebody who is like old school OG if he's got one of these hanging off his belt, right? That's a dude. That's a dude that, he was a roadie for Aerosmith in 1978, right? Because he's got
showing the way.
I mean, he's got that on his belt. But yeah, I keep this here. I love flashlights. I've got them. If anywhere you go in my studio, right? I've got flashlights, right? And
you got to have a torch, man. And I agree with that. Yeah, I keep several on me myself, all around.
I'm weird. I need to be able to.
Oh, you do, don't you? Look at that. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, so what's on your mind?
Well, okay, so this is just a continuation of the Squash Week, the special you got going on. So the story starts out. I'm 9 years old, and I live what's kind of at the base of what's called Mineral Springs Mountain. And so 9 years old, and parents are asleep, and I sneak out of the house. Well, I go get my father's large mag light and kind of go down to the creek area. There's a lot of creeks that intersect there on Mineral Springs Mountain. And so I'm going down to the creek, and I'm looking through, just filtering through, seeing whatever I could find, and kind of have this little strange, weird feeling. And I hear some rustling. Something's kind of moving close to the edge of the little embankment. And this part of the creek's maybe 5 foot across, so not too. It's not very deep at all at this point. And so out of nowhere, this literally, it was like a grayish, like a light white gray wolf, just jumps down to the other side of the creek bank. And so at this moment, there's this like 5-second deadlock of, I see you, you see me, and it's just complete stare. And then after that, it kind of jumps off and goes to the other side. I'm frozen with fear. I've got that emotion just stringing on. And so, but it's one of those things where it's like, when you see something like this, it's more than just a domesticated dog. You see like, when you look inside its eyes, it's like the eyes of a predator looking at you. And so the thing is, wolves aren't supposed to be in this particular part of North Carolina, which, completely understandable. And so get back to the house, and the next day I talked to my dad, and I was excited, and ended up getting in trouble for disclosing that I'd snuck out. But so I really wanted to talk to one of the biologists, and he had the connections. And so I called the biologist, and he said, no, there's no wolves here in this part or anything. So what you saw was probably, obviously a white dog. But you just knew in my heart that that's not what I saw. So we'll fast forward to about 4 years ago. So I was giving a friend a ride to a place where he was staying up what's called Flat Gap Mountain, which is it's not very far from where Mineral Springs Mountain is. It's just maybe 10 miles, about 5 by 10 miles. And so there's a place called CC Camp Road. It's Conservation Camp Road. And so back in the mid late 40s, the military had something going on back in that area. So it was kind of logged out, and there was some old gravel roads. And so over time, people have started to put houses there, but it's right at the edge of kind of the South Mountains range, and there's a lot of mass acreage of just forested area. And so I'm taking him up there to where he's staying, and so we're going up these gravel, and just I always have that in mind, when I'm kind of in this area, or just talk to people sometimes, like, hey, I had this, nice sighting, wolf sighting. And so I was telling my friend about it, and he's like, man, I just saw one of those the other night. I just saw a wolf the other night. I'm thinking, okay, probably a dog or whatever. And so he gets to explaining it a little bit more. And he was describing what he saw, and he's like, look, it wasn't an Alaskan Malamute, it wasn't an Alaskan Husky. And so as we're going by where I'm taking him, he was almost to the very end of the road. And this is long, winding gravel road. And multiple offshoots of these roads. It's just military, I guess, was up there doing something. I'm not exactly sure what it was that they were up there for it. But so here we are. I go to drop him off. Well, on my way out, we had to go through this little property, and it had a house on it, and it had kind of like some farm equipment and little farmed area. And this guy has 2 horses. And so I actually see this man standing outside, and I wave, and I just roll my window down, and just, pleasantries, talking to him. And I said, hey man, I just wanted to ask, if you'd ever seen any wolves around here. My friend I just dropped off, he said he had seen the other night. He's like, yeah, actually we do have them up here, and I've got 3 on trail cams that I've set up. And so I'm thinking, wow, this is getting more interesting, by the moment. So he actually showed me the pictures of them, and one was kind of like a burnt reddish. The other one had kind of a darker black burnt red to it, and then the other one had more of like a grayish. It was like a phase type of color. So this is very interesting, and we're just talking about it. And super nice guy. He's probably in his mid-late 50s, and him and his wife live there, and they've got 2 horses, and he's got a tractor and just some other equipment, and they're just living up there, enjoying themselves. And so here we are, and he just kind of looks at me, and he said, and there's something else up here that we see from time to time. And I was like, okay, what do you see? Some foxes? Do you see a bear? And he said no, and it was like he was a little bit hesitant of wanting to disclose what he was talking about and seeing. And he said, well, I don't really know exactly what to call it, except for it is probably about 7 feet tall, 8 foot tall maybe, and it's like an ape. And it was almost like he wanted to tell me, but he didn't want me to think. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. How people are thought of in public situations.
Of course,
they almost are too afraid to talk about it. Exactly. So here we are, and he's starting to begin to tell me this story about how when they moved up there, that they started having these little weird experiences. And so he's got one of the first ones was he had a piece of tractor equipment that it's kind of almost like a scoop that you would put on a small to medium sized tractor, but you would need large. You couldn't just move it. It would take several men to even probably budge this thing. So you would move it actually with the piece of equipment, the tractor itself. And so one day when he got up, he went outside and he realized this thing had been moved probably 50 feet, 50, 60 feet, like almost like it was drug. And so he's thinking, and this isn't a place where you got hooligans hanging out or, you know, people trying to steal for scrap metal. And regardless, like he would have heard someone up there with a vehicle or obviously a tractor trying to move this. And so just found it very odd. You know, something was like, what's going on here? And then there were other little odd things that had been moved around, pieces of, he had a bunch of hubcaps, like old metal hubcaps he had on the side of his kind of his barn / building.
Mm-hmm.
And they would be moved or kind of missing. And well, when they were outside one evening, tending to the horses, and this is where it gets pretty interesting. So, and his wife's there, and she starts coming into the conversation and acknowledging everything that he's telling me. And so they would be out there with their horses, and then the horses would kind of change their behavior. Not a complete spook, but you could just tell that something was going on with the horses. It wasn't just a normal reaction to them outside, brushing them, feeding them. And so she told me that she looked down at the edge of the forest line to where their horse enclosure was, and there's something standing behind a tree, and it's leaning over, looking at them, and it is in the shape of what you would think of like a giant hairy man or like an ape, but not like a gorilla or obviously a very large chimpanzee. And so as they're telling me this, it's almost like they don't want to tell me, but you know, that it feels nice that I'm listening to them and you're not saying, you're crazy. And so then she opens up more and she says, yes, there's a handful of times that we've, you know, seen this thing, experienced it. And they've got 2 grandchildren. And he said, look, I'm really not afraid of my life. There's nothing really weird that's happened except for some things moving around and it spooks the horses. But he said, when my grandchildren are up here spending time with me, I'm fear, you know, that's my number one. I don't want anything to happen to them.
Right.
And so he carries a firearm with him just in case there's something strange, but he doesn't obviously want to use it. And so what else is awesome is he's got plaster tracks. He's got pictures of tracks, and he told me that he has samples of hair, which he is pretty sure has come from whatever this thing is. And so he doesn't want any publicity. I was almost a little hesitant about calling, but not that he would be listening or hear it, but just for the principle of it. But I just figured it was, I just wanted to share the experience that I had with someone who had some sort of experience.
Let me ask you this, Kelly. The area up there, are there a lot of reports? Are there other sightings, you know, besides you and I'm not going to say specifically, but the person at this farm?
Right.
Are there sightings out there a lot?
I'm not 100% on like a mass amount of sightings, but there are people who I've overheard saying that they've seen some. And there's one case. It's something you could probably find online. I know I've seen it before. There was a man that's here in the Piedmont area that's claimed to have seen it, and I think the local news had picked it up too. So there have been sightings up here in the mountains. It's just I'm not too sure of obviously the credibility of it. I don't want to hold someone's credible their word based upon, but and the reality is you know, obviously with anything from UFOs to in this situation we're talking about now is the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, and in our localized area as far as quote unquote America. You know, it's just, could you imagine if all the stories and everything we were getting, if it was pure, just the truth as it was seen and to be told? I mean,
well, I think
that would be incredible.
Yeah, exactly. And Kelly, and you sound, You sound pretty credible to me, right? You don't sound crazy.
Right. I appreciate it.
And, but you're right about that. But I think that most of this stuff, whether it's Bigfoot or UFOs or life after death, near-death experiences, and consciousness, and things that we just completely don't understand, and we try to explore our strange experiences. But the rest of the world that used to, kind of blow the stuff off and consider it entertainment, right? I think they are starting to take this very seriously. And
I agree. I agree with you completely.
It's a different world. I think that you can, it used to be, I have on the back of my Jeep, I have a red alien sticker head on the glass. I'm not so sure if 10 years ago that would have been a good idea, right? Right. Today, I don't give a crap. And so I had a Bigfoot.
That's the way to be.
I had a Bigfoot wheel cover for my spare tire in the back of the Jeep. And it was great. And I got that. But you know why I had to take it off? Not because I didn't want to look crazy. The friggin' wheel cover covered up my backup camera. The backup camera mounts in the middle of the spare tire. You dig what I'm saying? So I put the cover on. I'm all happy. It's straight. It looks great. I jump in the Jeep. I can't wait to drive around town with my Bigfoot wheel cover, right? And I put the car in reverse, and I'm looking at my backup camera, and you know what I see?
And it's nighttime.
And I see Bigfoot. Because Bigfoot's white.
Okay, I got you.
It's black with a white Bigfoot, right? So in the backup camera, I got this. All right, I got Bigfoot. I was like, how is that? What's going on? How's it picking up? I'm all confused. How's it picking up Bigfoot backwards? And wow, that is really I didn't realize that I had covered up the camera. And so I figured out that later, and I had to take the cover off. And there's no way I can't relocate it. I can't move the camera.
Yeah.
And then am I going to cut a hole? Am I going to cut a hole in the middle of my brand new tire cover and have the camera poke out of Bigfoot's belly? No, you're not going to, so I had to take it off. Man, I was so bummed. I want people.
Maybe you could hang it up on the wall. Or
make it a
flag,
a guitar cover. And so, but here's the thing: I don't care anymore. Right? It's okay to go around.
That's a great place to be. That's a great place to be where you're at.
And I don't think anybody's going to give me a hard time for having Bigfoot and alien, stuff on my Jeep. I think it's a different world that we live in today, Kelly.
I agree with you.
And that's
I'm only 33, fixing to turn 33. So, and as far as my father, he's not only was he a wildlife officer for the state, but he was also a wildlife rehabilitator ever since the mid 70s. And so when I was born into this literal world of your localized wild animals. So we could have at any given time, during the season that the baby deer were born, which they start to be born in around June of the summer. And so we could have anywhere from 8. I think the most that I've ever experienced was 15 at one time. And we had these raptor cages where we'd have birds of prey. And he would just take in any little thing that we could just to help rehabilitate and save and kind of reintroduce it out in the wild. So I grew up as like a child. I just remember some of the very earliest memories, and we would have these little pens, and I'd be in a pacifier and stuff too. We've got pictures and video and stuff, and where I'd literally be in this pen with baby deer, and I'd be curled up asleep with them. And so as a child, I was around a lot of localized, wild animals, and so I had this wild instinctive feel about me, and it was, trying to incorporate myself with formal education with other peers, and I felt different, not only towards my other peers, but about what I was a part of on the planet. I would go outside in recess and run my fingers through the grass, and I'm looking at the other kids wide-eyed saying, do you get it? Do you guys not feel this? You know, it's just, I had this existential feeling at a very young age. And I remember learning about it, planets. And that was the big thing. It was, you know, Jupiter's the big gaseous giant planet. And then you got Saturn with its rings. And I'm sitting here like scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, teacher, what does this mean? Like, do you know what does this mean? So I would ask all these teachers and ask my parents and all these adults, all these questions, because I figured, well, they're adults. They should know the answers, right? Well, it comes to find out, a lot of them don't.
No, they don't.
The majority of them couldn't.
And it's
exactly.
like pulling teeth. Kelly, I got to get to a commercial break.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thanks so
don't
much,
be
Jimmy.
a stranger, man. Call anytime.
Very nice talking to you. Okay. I really appreciate you. Have a good night.
Yeah, we appreciate you. That's a fantastic call. Thank you so much. And let's get to our break right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Somebody just sent me a link to a porn site, and I'm on it right now. It's tactical flashlights. I'm in heaven.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
The Believer is the chilling true story of Dr. John Mack, a renowned Harvard psychiatrist and Pulitzer Prize winner.
This is an outreach program from the cosmos to the consciously impaired.
He risked it all to investigate human encounters with aliens. The Believer, Alien Encounters, Hard Science, and the Passion of John Mack. Written by award-winning former New York Times journalist and author Ralph Blumenthal. Now available in paperback from High Road Books.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B Blend for 15% off of your order today.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight, open lines all night long. 818-921-6929 or 323-275-9695. I'm obsessing over these tactical flashlights. Closeout sales. Ooh, 10% off. Oh my goodness. Oh, you have no idea. Oh. I'm not kidding. This is too much for me. I can't do this anymore. It's insanity. It's insanity. That's it. Okay. All right. I'm out. I gotta get off this porn site. It's incredible. All right. Open lines all night long. Okay. Hold on. Let me do this. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to put you on hold. You just stay right there. You just don't go anywhere because I'm going here next because I do things correctly. I do. It's open lines all night long. Oh, by the way, time capsule. So check this out. 30 years old. A Thai Beanie Baby hang tag for a Beanie Baby named Pounce that I guarantee you look this up, I probably spent $200 on that Beanie Baby. I have no idea what Pounce is, but it was valuable enough that the hang tag fell off and I put it in the jewelry box so I would never lose it. And Pounce is probably worth 25 cents today. But there's the hang tag for it right there. Oh, one other thing. I just want to show you this because it's, hold on. I have no idea why this was in the jewelry box. I don't remember getting this, but it must have been, around 1990, 89, 90. But it's a Ferrari Hot Wheel. And I think this is an Enzo Ferrari. Why it was in the jewelry box, I have no idea. But this is a 30-year-old Hot Wheel. That's an antique in the jewelry box. One last thing from the time capsule. I'll do more later. This started out white. This is what happens in a jewelry box for 30 years. This is my HHB name tag from a trade show that is now yellow. This was white and bright purple, and now it's orange is the color. You can see it. It's orange, and it's been in there. I can't believe it. Man. All right. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, it's Bernard.
Hi, Bernard. How are you?
I'm doing well, buddy. I'm sure you remember me.
Oh, Bernard, you and I go way back.
Yes. I was the LD for KISS. The lighting director for the rock band KISS.
Oh, Bernard, we've known each other for so long now. 7 days. How you doing, Bernard? What's on your mind?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. I would like to, first of all, ask you if there's any question you have about KISS and their secrets.
I wouldn't do that live on the air. I wouldn't do that live on the air. I'll tell you a KISS story. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So it was like, I'm going to guess. Oh, I was going to tell this story. Okay. So, Paul Stanley, comes in, to Guitar Center. So this is 19, 93, and he's buying Christmas presents, right? So, and I had a meeting set up with him, and he comes down. He's got a cowboy hat on. He's got his cowboy boots. And he's buying stuff for everybody in the band. He's getting something for Gene. He's getting something, and so it was cool, right? And we're in my office, and he hikes his cowboy boots up on the desk, crosses his legs, and we just sit and we talk for about an hour or so. Okay, but that's not the story. So we do the Christmas gifts and things, and it's about a week later. I'm at Save-On, okay? Save-On, which is a drugstore. I don't know if they have them where you are. And I'm at Save-On, and I've got a shopping cart.
I'm in Detroit.
Okay.
Actually, right outside of Ann Arbor.
Okay, so
I live in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
I'm pushing this shopping cart up this aisle, and I hit another shopping cart. And I look up, and it's Paul Stanley. and I go, dude, he goes, Jimmy, what's going on? And I go, nothing. What are you doing in Save-On? That's all that could come out of my mouth. And he had, I hope one day he listens to this, because this is the truth. At Guitar Center, he's all rock and roll. He's got the cowboy hat on, the lizard skin boots, and he's rock and roll. But at Save-On, he's wearing like a button-down sweater, and he is looking like a dad.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, shopping. What are you doing? And I go, I'm shopping. And I'm like thinking to myself, nobody in Save-On recognizes this guy because of how he's dressed. Yeah. It was the most hilarious thing. And so we kind of, we did our thing, and Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever. And he walks by, and we just pass each other, and we talk for about 5 or 10 minutes. But anyway, I just scratched my head and just kind of looked, and people are shopping. Nobody knows, man.
You wouldn't expect him there.
It was it was the most hilarious thing ever. And I'm serious, man.
Paul.
Paul
over the year has been quite humble. He's realized that the trappings of a rock star are only hollow, if you know what I mean.
Sure. I've met him and hung out with him a few times over the years, and the image that you have in whatever, we all have those images, but the guy that you meet solo, like that one-on-one, that is a cool dude, man. That is a cool, humble guy, and like I said, it was Mr. Rogers. You're right. You penned it. You hit it. You hit the nail right on the head. It was too funny.
You know what? He's really. I'm really impressed how he's turned his life around, and he seems to have found a very personal peace inside of himself. Plus, he also collects Tiffany lamps like I do. So, that's a great story.
Here's another thing, though, and I think this is a bona fide factoid, is that when you talk to any band about their history, right? And they go, you get the same questions, right? And you hear this over and over again. You know what? The best tour we ever had was when we opened for Kiss. And they, Kiss would always do that with these different, these up and coming bands, and give these guys a crack at things. But how they just enjoyed hanging out with them it was our first tour, and Kiss just, and you hear that story over and over again. I just watched a documentary about Rush, and that was one of the things that Getty was talking about was their first tour of the United States with Kiss, and how great that was, and you hear these stories over and over again.
Sure. Well, just a little side story. I got to know very close with all the members of Iron Maiden because they were just as a warm-up band through Europe. And one night we all got plowed, at a hotel Intercontinental in Cologne, Germany. And, we said, we're rock stars. Let's tear something apart. So we actually ripped an elevator apart.
You got to do it. You got to do it once. You got to do the rock star thing. You got to throw at least one TV out of one hotel, window. Right. And you got to get your yah-yahs out. But here's the other thing. Iron Maiden, same situation. I mean, those guys are all so grounded, and
very grounded.
Yeah,
very grounded.
Very grounded. Very grounded. You can't say that about everybody. You can't.
No.
But the Iron Maiden guys, yeah, totally cool. I've only met a few, but I haven't met them all. I haven't met Dickinson. I haven't met him, but
the bass player, Steve is a very nice guy, and I forget if his last name is Dickinson, but you know what? We toured all of Europe together, and it was quite an experience for a 22-year-old man, and they were still driving around basically in a VW bus, as a warm-up as for kids. And, it's funny. I don't know if you've seen them recently, their new stage show. It's a phenomenal stage show, but it's just kind of depressing how Gene and Paul have, they just don't have the energy in it anymore,
Well, I don't know how old you are, Bernard, but
I'm 63.
Okay, 63. So when we're 15 years old, and I'm 58. Okay, so when we're 14, 15, 16 years old, going to these concerts, and we're looking at, these bands, it doesn't matter, Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and Kiss, and Ted Nugent, whatever, pick a band, Peter Frampton, right? Doesn't matter. If they're 20 years older than us, right? 15, 20 years older back then when they were kids, 25, 30 years old on stage. And here we are at 60. How old are they? How old are they today? They are in their 70s. And that's just the way that it is. I was watching videos the other day of Motley Crue's, stadium tour. And look at Mick Mars. Oh my! Nikki Sixx is still jumping around doing his thing. All right, that's fine. But Mick Mars, I was totally taken aback. And Mick Mars was always the oldest guy in the band. So in 1982, whenever that first Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, when did that come out? I can't even. Not Shout at the Devil. The one before that. Whatever that was. Mick Mars probably was 40, right, when he joined. I don't know for sure, but that was 40 years ago. All right?
Yeah.
And so how old is he today? How old?
Yes.
And he looks it too.
And
he's getting up there.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. Did you ever get a chance to meet Bill Aucoin, their manager?
I did. I met Bill Aucoin a few times. Sure. Yeah.
I used to stay at Bill Aucoin's apartment on Fifth Avenue in New York City, because I lived in Philadelphia. And he was quite a very good friend of mine, you know. And of course, you know, drugs took his life, basically, you know. And there were even stories where he was going into the Kiss's combined warehouse and stealing guitars and selling them, you know. And you know, it's a sad story. You know what fame can do to you, you know, and alcohol, you know, and drugs.
Yep. Hey, Bernard, I got to take some more calls and get to this break, man. But thank you. It's just
Next time I wanted to talk to you about quantum physics. So, you know.
All right. We'll do that next week, man. Behave and be well and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, buddy. You too now. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Bernard. Go back, Lee Tappy. And that's a great phone call right there. I'm absolutely 100% save on. Dressed like he said it, man. He said it. Mr. Rogers. That was a trippy thing, man. And I go back and think about that all the time. Here's the situation. I'm going to grab one more quick call here, but I'm bummed out about things, about losing, you know, and I was watching Mick Mars and I was like, man, where are we with this? I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared. You know, I wasn't prepared for Bowie. I wasn't prepared for Eddie Van Halen. Was not, you know, how about Prince, right? But I'm not prepared for any of this. But it's the cycle of life, you know, and I don't dig it, man. I just don't dig it. I don't dig it. I look around at my own life and I just think about the friends that I've lost and family members that I've lost. And I've just kind of, you know, I'm kicking back and going, man, is this how it's going to be? Right? And you ask, and the answer is yes. Right? I don't dig it, but there's something I can do. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good evening, Jimmy. It's Mike, Montana.
Hey, Mike in Montana. How are you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to extend my condolences to JT's family. And he was a good guy. I do remember him, you know, when you all had your conversations and him hitting his horn. That's pretty much how I knew it was JT. I have a thing. Well, I have a little quick story. In the early 90s, I used to work for a guy in the middle of the night. I was his only employee on the night shift. So I would come in and I would work, you know. And anyway, one night when I was standing at the machine that I was working with, I happened to reach up to grab a tool off the top of the machine. And just something out of the corner of my eye made me look to my left. And I saw this shadow person, I guess you call it, walk through the wall. Well, came out of the wall. And then walked across the floor right in front of me about 15, 20 feet away. To me, it looked like it was a Native American man walking from my left to my right. When he passed me, he went right out the wall to my right. I saw him probably 50, I think the building was about 50 feet wide. And I had a wrench in my hand, a good sized crescent wrench. And I watched him go through that wall, and it was right next to where the garage bay door was. So I ran over there, jerked the door up to see what, because it scared me so bad. I had never even heard about shadow people. But I knew that was an outline of a man walking by. And the reason I say I think it was a Native American was his hair was real long. Now, I didn't actually see like his color of his hair or anything. He was completely black. But as I was watching him walk across the floor, I noticed I couldn't see anything behind him. You couldn't see through it, and it was pitch black. There was no reflection of anything, just a silhouette of an object walking across the room. And so when I went outside and I looked around, I didn't see anything. And I told my boss the next morning about it. And of course, he was an older gentleman. He just laughed at me and thought it was funny. And I was like, I don't know what that was. Well, a couple of years ago, I had a black cat, had long hair. And I was sitting here in my office where I'm at now, down the basement. And I had the doors open, and I had this room next to me with some office stuff in it that I, use for storage. And I glanced down, and there was what I thought was my cat running past me into that room. And I didn't want my cat in there, so I go into that room. And there's only one door. It's like a giant closet. But, excuse me, the cat went into, I thought it was a cat, went into the room, and I went in after it. And there was no way out of that room except through the doorway that I was standing in, looking for the cat. And there was no cat. So I don't know if this has happened to me twice. The second one, I'm not sure. But when I went upstairs to tell my wife about it, the cat was sitting next to her.
Oh, man.
And
See,
I was like,
it's like that scene in The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that black cat? Again, right?
Yeah.
So,
like deja vu, yeah.
Yeah.
Both times I never saw anything but blackness. I mean, just you can't see through. Like I said, I thought it was my cat because I only caught a glance of it as it was going into the other room. And I just wanted to know if you knew of, or you know any people that have discussed that or wrote books about it, because I'd like to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah, jump into somebody's going to post something in Twitter or in the chat room. Whenever you say something like that, somebody is on top of the case going, you need to check this out. So go and poke around there. I don't know if it's old age. I don't know. But one of the things, by the way, everybody, check this out. The shoes started falling again last night. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me, man. And I go into my closet to hang up some shirts. And it's been like 6 months. The shoes, and then boom, shoes falling. Everybody see that? And I took a second picture. This is overhead. I don't know what's going on, man. So, but there's another thing, and I don't know if it's old age or what, but I see shadow things now off in my peripheral vision, and I don't dig it. I catch myself looking. Mike, I'm serious. I'll be like, look, and there's like something just moved, damn it. And you go and you look and there's nothing. I don't dig that, man. So is it real? Is there something really moving over there? Is it floaties in my eye? I don't know. It's not my hair. It's not anything else, but I see it and I look and there's nothing. I don't dig it. So, hey, Mike, enjoy your weekend, my man.
You too, Jimmy. Fade to black.
Go Beckley Tappy. Right there. That's a great phone call. Thank you, Mike. And so if anybody knows or has an answer to that, post in Twitter, post in the chat room for Mike, and we'll see if we can get him some answers, if there's any books out there about this stuff. This is Fade to Black. I'm yours, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, it is Fader night. It's open lines all night long. I'll be right back after this short break with more of your phone calls. This is Fade to Black. I'm yours, Jimmy Church. Stay with us.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hello, Fadernauts. Jimmy Church here. You've seen me with my Thunderstorm. Now you can purify the air in your home and get healthy, clean, fresh-smelling air and eliminate odors just like I do right here in the bunker. The EdenPURE Thunderstorm uses oxy technology that naturally sends out O3 molecules into the air, which seek out odors and air pollutants in your home and destroys them. It's called a thunderstorm because it purifies the air just like after a thunderstorm. And right now, you can save $200 on an EdenPURE Thunderstorm 3-pack for whole home protection. With this special offer, you're getting 3 units for under $200. Seriously. Go to EdenPureDeals.com and use Fader3. Shipping is free and it's easy. Just scroll down. You'll see my name right there, Jimmy Church. Click on it and get your deal today. That's EdenPureDeals.com.
This is Billy Carson, founder and CEO of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv is the fastest growing and one of the most watched networks in the world. And I would like to personally invite you to check out our expanding library of TV, film, lectures, and special presentations. ForbiddenKnowledge.tv has over 6,000 videos covering lost history, health, UFOs, spirituality, and our future. We are committed to our community, and with my personal invitation, you can, right now, get your own free 30-day membership at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Your own library of information starts today at ForbiddenKnowledge.tv.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, the X.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm Jimmy Church. I was watching was watching some of the comments in the chat room and, talking about the shoes. I couldn't believe it, by the way. Rounded the corner and it's been a while. And there they were, right? So I put them back. I haven't checked. I'm like scared, right? I don't want to see it. And then Bill says, "Hey man, that's nothing. Think about the time you walk into the bunker and you see guitars move." And my comment was, "Man, I would check out. You would never hear from me again." With straight jacket, and but here's the thing: it sort of happened, and I've talked about. It's been a while since I mentioned this on the air, probably a few years, but I'm going to say this was 5 years ago, and maybe 5 years ago. And I wrapped the show. I'm done. Show's over. And when I wrap the show, and I've got a few things that I've got to do. I've got files that got to move around. I've got emails that I've got to send out. Things, and stuff has to happen right away. Upload, download, edit. And so I take the headphones off. Also, these are on all night for 3 hours. I need the peace, right? I need to just decompress. So I take the headphones off and I put them down, and the studio is dead quiet. It's just all the soundproofing and stuff in here. And this is how quiet it is in here. Just listen. That's how quiet it is. Right. So I'm sitting here, and then this happens from behind my back. This is what I hear. Just like that. And I have a heart attack. And I'm alone, and I turn around and I look at the wall of guitars, and I'm looking to see if something has fallen from the ceiling, which obviously didn't happen. And what could have strummed the guitar strings? And I sat there with my adrenaline, my heart jumped out of my chest. I'm quite freaked out. It never happened again. If it would have happened a second time while I was sitting in there, because that one caught me by surprise, I still don't know the story behind it. If it would have happened a second time, that's when you pee on yourself and you run out of the room and you sell the house. So it never happened again. It was the craziest thing. And look, I know what it sounds like, people. I know. I'm the crazy cat woman, and I don't want to be that person, but it doesn't change the story. It doesn't change the reality of it. It happened. And to have it happen in here, you saw what has to occur. You have to do that. That's the only way it happens. So what was it? I don't know. That's exactly what it sounded. I hope you guys can hear it. So there you go. It was bizarre, and I don't have a camera shot of my face, but I'm sure it was something like, it was like that. I mean, it was. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Oh my God, that is freaky.
Who's this?
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, I was watching in the program In Search with Leonard Nimoy, the Bigfoot episode. The more I see the Patterson film, the more I realize how it is a true event. And the reason I do is because everybody says that there's a guy in a suit. The guy's 9 foot tall and the shoulders and everything. So that's how I know. I know you've been talking to Damon T. Barry. Stop it.
Are you Damon T. Barry? It's Damon T. Barry called into the show. I knew it. That was Damon T. Barry. I can retire now. Trying to disguise his voice. I'm going to do a search on this area code. Let's see. Area code. Say it out loud. Yeah. Interesting. San Francisco. San Mateo. Interesting. So I guess I can go and retire now. Okay. Oh. Don't even tell. 818-921-6929 or 323-275-9695. And the calls that were on hold are still there, but they're in a part of the software that I can't access. I can't see them. So that's it. You're going to have to either sit on hold or listen to me right now, hang up and call back, and I'll just pick it straight up. But I can't click through. I don't want to get into it right now. It's a mystery to me where they go, and I can see them, but I can't get to them. It don't make me explain. All right. So anyway, back to the haunting thing, because this is what happened. All right. So I heard it. Did you guys hear that? Okay. All right. So is this Lisa Reed comes over to the house last weekend, and I had to leave, and I don't want to get into the details, but I had to leave, and I told Lisa, I said, the house is yours. We're going to be gone for 10 or 15 minutes, and it's okay. I said, all right. So we split. When we come back, Lisa goes, somebody else is in the house. I'm not making this up. And I said, what happened? She goes, I was sitting there watching TV, and somebody's walking around upstairs. I can hear the footsteps. I said, where were they? She goes, right above my head, right there. I said, that's what I've been on about. I've been telling you that there are footsteps upstairs. And, okay, so this is, and I just talked to a friend of mine, a ghost hunter, and he had called a couple of weeks ago and said, do you want to come? I want to interview you about what's going on at your house. Is it still? I said, it is. And I can't explain it. I don't know what is happening with it. But here's the deal. When I hear the footsteps upstairs, I'm not going to go upstairs and look. I'm alone, man. I'm not going to go and poke around and check stuff out. No, I'm not going to do it. And it was the same thing with Lisa. When you're sitting there and you're hearing the same. Okay, so let me explain. Let me explain to you why this is so trippy. At my house, the first floor of my house, the entire first floor is wood floors, not imitation wood, like wood, plank wood floors. And it has a very distinct sound. And I also love the wood floors. Okay. The second floor of the house is carpeted. Not the first floor, but the second floor, except for the bathrooms that are upstairs. And so if you wouldn't hear footsteps on the carpeting, follow where I'm going with this. So my master bath, which is obviously inside of the master bedroom, it's got it's too big of a master bath. And what I mean by that is it's got a very big tiled floor. And not what it's tile, but it's big. It allows footsteps. Which is my point. So imagine if this is how I hear it. Imagine if footsteps are coming from the carpeting, which you're not going to hear, but then walk across, 10 feet of tile. Click, 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 or it's a ghost walking in a circle, right? But that's what you hear. So from the couch in the family room, which is below the bathroom, which is above your head, that's what you hear. You hear this click, 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 click. It's like, dude, I'm not going up there. I don't want to know. Is it the shoes falling from the from the shoe rack walking around? I don't. But it is a crazy sound. And so anyway, I take Lisa up with the friend that's with us, and I take him upstairs. And I go, "This is what's going on." And we're walking across the carpeting. We're in my bedroom. And then walk straight in to the bathroom, and I do the and that's it. I know that's the sound. So I'm here alone. It's a ghost, and I don't know how else to lay this out, and look. Again, it sounds crazy. It sounds nuts, but it's clear, it's defined, it's deliberate, and that's all I've got. And I hear it now so often. Okay, I hear it so often now that I almost ignore it. So like sometimes I don't. It doesn't get my attention anymore. If I'm watching TV and I hear the footsteps, I used to freak out. Do I go upstairs? Do I get a flashlight? Do I turn on the lights? What do I do? Do I go up and see this? Do I run video? What do I do? I would run all the scenarios through my mind. I don't do that anymore. It's like that. It happens all the time. So Tony Rathman, it was Tony, by the way, that called. So Tony said, "Is it still going on?" I said, "It is. It is." And now I've been trying to resolve this. Do I have a squirrel living between the floors? It's a possibility. Could a squirrel that wears heels, I guess. Hard-soled shoes. Is there something? Is there a raccoon? I don't know. Is there a giant lizard thing living in the rafters between the floors? I don't know. But you start to think like this in your head, where you're just going, okay, maybe that's what it is, and let's just go with that. Right? Let's just go with that. Something is living up there. It's not that big of a deal. It's not hurting anybody. That's not what it sounds like. Could there be an animal that would be that big? Now, we've all heard, mice in the attic or whatever. We've heard those sounds and whatever. We've heard those. That's not what this is. Going right across, right there. Starts at the bathroom door, goes across the floor, arches, and ends at the bathtub. That's what it is. And so that was the other thing that I showed Lisa and our friend. is that where it stops is where the bathtub is. So what's the significance of that? Why does the ghost go across and at the bathtub? And then your mind just wanders, right? So there it is, man. And now the shoes are dropping again. And I don't know. I got to have Tony and Cherie come over to the house and sage this joint. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Mike from Monterey, California.
Hi, Mike from Monterey, California.
Jimmy, I don't know what to tell you about those crazy sounds, but I had a UFO experience this last week. I was hoping I could run by you.
Oh, what happened?
I'm actually originally from Northridge, California, and this occurred down there. And I know this is kind of your part of the woods.
Yep.
And I thought you might find it kind of interesting. So I'll just preface this real quick. So I drove down there about a month ago, see some family friends in Northridge, and a buddy of mine, family friends, he had thought he'd seen something up in the sky. It was about 6 o'clock in the evening, so broad daylight this time of year. And we both kind of saw it. It's kind of a silver object, looked like it was reflecting light. And of all people, I kind of thought it was just a balloon of some sort. I didn't really see much of a drift, and it kind of disappeared. I had asked him if he wanted to grab a binocular to take a look, because he's a big hunter, so he's got all that stuff. And by the time we played around with that idea, it was gone. But what I wanted to tell you about today was last week I drove back down, and exact same time, I'm in Northridge, California, and it's exactly, I had it timestamped on my phone. It was at 6:13 in the evening, and of all things, we were sitting in the backyard about to have a cigar, and he basically said, "You're not going to believe this. It's back. Get over here." And so I kind of scurry over to where he was standing, and sure enough, and this is why I wanted to call you, Jimmy, because you would know these locations.
Mm-hmm.
So Northridge is just north of the Burbank airport, the northbound departure traffic. And here was this silver object, the exact same location, pretty high altitude. And basically, this time I looked at him and I said, "Hey, this time grab the binoculars. Like, let's figure this out."
Right.
He grabs binoculars. I'm looking, and this is not a shining light. This is a metallic object. He and I both kind of separately wrote down what we saw as basically cylindrical, and it was vertical, and it was reflecting light. And the way I describe to my friends is like if you took like an American Airlines, a silver fuselage with no wings or anything, and put it vertical, it's kind of what it looked like. But it gets kind of interesting. So basically, I'm looking at it, and it is right in line with the Burbank traffic. And we live just right between that and Van Nuys, where Van Nuys is coming in, which I'm sure you know where that is.
I do.
And
what part of Northridge?
Right there, Plummer and Woodley, where the VA is.
Plummer and Woodley?
Yep, Plummer and Woodley.
I almost bought a house on Plummer and Woodley. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
Right next to you.
You know where Trader Joe's is? Right there.
I absolutely do, sir.
Yeah, across the street, up on that little hill. So anyway, that's my house. So, but I know that area like the back of my hand, and it's a beautiful part of the valley, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So continue.
Oh yeah, no problem. So this is where it gets kind of interesting and kind of worth the call.
Hey,
so
Mike,
I decided I'm going to call him.
Mike,
I'm going to report.
Mike,
Sure.
just let me tell you, we got about 2.5 minutes before the end of the show. So,
all
go.
Right, I'll give you the express version.
Sure.
So I actually reported it to 911. They actually called me back. They wanted to know the follow-up location from it. Long story short, it actually moves location southbound, so kind of in the direction of Burbank, the actual city, not the airport.
Right.
And I report it, and the thing that's really interesting was no more than about 5 minutes after reporting it, I was like, well, that was exciting. It was out of sight. I hear military aircraft, and I'm former military myself, and I worked in aviation when I got out. And it was 3 Osprey aircraft with the rotors down, going directly in line with each other, directly to the vector of where the aircraft or the object had moved over Burbank. And everybody that was in the backyard said the same thing. They're like, where you reported it, that's not what they had on the recording for 911. They must have seen it on radar traffic or had a visual, because these 3 aircraft came directly to the location of where, from our angle, we couldn't see it. And immediately after, everybody that was present noticed that it seemed like Burbank was actually starting to divert traffic. And I'd never seen that type of response before. And the thing I was going to kind of ask you is, I know you don't have a lot of time, but it was running northwest to southeast. And knowing that area, the only place I could think that those aircraft would come from would either be Point Mugu or Edwards. And I have looked around trying to learn this like flight tracker, because I'm not trying to locate the object, but I'm very curious as to where those aircraft may have come from. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts or any ideas as to how to decipher where they scrambled from.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got 1 minute to answer that. First off, Edwards is not far. Okay, so when you're up in the air, Edwards is about 40 miles away. So, but when you're up in the air in an Osprey, how far is 40 miles, right? So you're just going to go over the mountain range, right? So you know where Northridge is, right? Where Edwards is you cross the 5 freeway, get on the 14, and you drive that for 25 miles, and then through Palmdale, and you arrive at Edwards. It's right there. It's not far at all. So could they have come from Edwards? Absolutely. Could they have also come from the Palm Springs airport where Lockheed Skunk Works is and Air Force Plant 42? Do they have Ospreys there? I don't know, but that's also a possibility. I
didn't think about that.
Yeah, and there's also the National Guard little base that is right there. And so, what's the name of that airport? Whiteman. You know, could they have
Whiteman?
Yeah, could they have Ospreys at Whiteman, which is just north of the vector that you're talking about? It's right there. But anyway, any of those locations are actually very close. Could they have scrambled them to that location in what is that? It's probably 5-10 minutes flight time. Well, it's 40 miles in an
and they were.
So it's not far.
Yeah, and they were at the matching altitude of it too, which I thought was very, very interesting. For what it's worth.
And those Ospreys are friggin' fast. You know, they're real quick. When they put those rotors down, I think it's 300 miles an hour. You know, it
was forward. It was forward tilt.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I've seen them rip through the sky with the forward tilt. They're fast. Those are huge props, man. But that's very interesting that it was vertical. And now I've got 15 seconds. Give me the date. When did this happen?
Yes, sir. I was there for birthday weekend. It was August 5th, and it happened at 6:13 was the first time that we sighted it and made the call to, I guess, LAPD.
All right. There you go. If anybody saw anything over Burbank, vertical, silver, cylindrical shaped, August 5th, let me know. Hey, Mike, enjoy your weekend, man. Thank you for the phone call. Fantastic sighting.
Yes, sir. Go back Lake Tappy, sir.
Go back Lake Tappy, man. Have a good weekend. And thank you, Mike. That's a great phone call. And with that, I got to get out of here. That is bumper to bumper, pole to pole. Fantastic, unbelievably great Fadernight dedicated to JT and Indy. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What a great night, everybody. Thank you so much. Great way to end the week and, get me all ready for Vandenberg Air Force Base tomorrow. That's right. I'm going to go and watch me a SpaceX launch. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Hartle, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmasters, Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intros, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJ Sierra for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll see everybody right here on Monday. Until then, I want everybody to be safe. Go Backley Tappy.